Don't worry. I'm just getting the stream banned in Russia real quick. That's all this is. I'm just getting the stream banned in Russia. Whenever I play this song and video, the stream or video gets banned in Russia. Vladimir Putin, not a big fan of this song or this video. He said, nope, you're not doing that here. You're not bringing that into my country. And I said, all right, fine. That's fine. Whatever, Vlad. Whatever, Vladimir. Have it your way. Don't have a good time. That's fine with me. You know? Gosh. Hold on. Here, I gotta... Here. There we go. Yet, footage is fine, says Good Brother. You don't know that. I'm not joking. Every time I show this video, it gets banned in one country. Russia. Cannot be seen in Russia. Every time. Some things came up, and we're not going to be able to play a tabletop game tonight. My wife is being canceled. Her shop's in the process of being canceled. So she's dealing with that right now. For some reason. So that's what's up there. But I am here, and we're going to do something. It's just a chill out zone. That means we can do whatever we want to. We can do whatever we want. We can dance if we want to. We can fuck up lots of shit. We can have a good time and bust a little rhyme. If you're all down with it. What's everyone up to tonight? Let me just turn this down even more. It will just be there ever so slightly in the background for most people. Yeah, legit cancel attempt. For not running an LGBTQ and minority-friendly studio. For no reason at all. Never given anyone any reason to think that. Someone out there is butthurt. But, it comes for everyone, doesn't it? The fucking horse shit. Comes for everyone. Grabs musket. Yeah. No details given. There's just a person who's like, hey, Studio 85, huh? Well, I don't know. So that's what's going on around here. She's trying to sort that out. Trying to give it the proper amount of attention. And I said, you got to be careful. Because once you engage, there's nothing you can say to ever make it better. I mean, you can say your piece and basically give a person a heads up on like, hey, fucker. Stop talking shit. You've got no reason to be spreading these lascivious lies. No one has ever felt that way, as far as I know. All sorts of people come through, and no one's ever been treated any differently. So, but what can you do? Once that ball gets rolling, it's like, then you try to stick up for yourself and you say, well, hold on a second. I never... But we'll see what happens. Yeah, the female-owned business with majority female employees is oppressive and intolerant. Sure. Yeah, very much so. Obviously, it's a big problem. They need to be taken down a peg, right? Well, it looked like this was posted by a really shitty artist, as far as I could tell. So, you know, never underestimate jealousy and what that will drive people to do. But you just got to keep them receipts, because if it goes, if anyone has to get legal, good brother knows what's up there. If we have to get legal, what do they call that? Boxing with God? No, we don't have to do that. We can keep it within the proper channels. You know, well, I was referring to certain connections, let's say, of very good representation. Talk about representation. We got some representation that really matters. How about that? Want to talk about taking someone down a peg? Step up. Anyhow, we can talk about other things. What do we want to do tonight? I know, look at me. Trying to keep everyone safe and happy and healthy. What are we going to do? You know what I always thought was bullshit? Here, I'll just grab this and just start going off about something. You want a hot take? Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take that really shouldn't be that hot. What is this? What am I holding right now? It's a radio, of course. Well, it's a boombox, but it has a radio in it. Classic radio with the antenna. So you can tune in to your favorite radio stations right here on this thing. That's what I was going for. That's what I was talking about. You can dig. So look, when you got one of these, you know what I can do? I could turn this on when the Cincinnati Reds are playing, and I can tune it to 700 WLW, and I can listen to the Reds game right here on this. But guess what? If you use an internet-based radio tuner, which they've had them for many years, where you can go online and you can just listen to a radio station. If I were, say, in Las Vegas again, and I tuned in to 700 WLW via the internet from Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Reds were playing, I wouldn't be able to hear the game. That's all right, Jorfus. Thanks for stopping by. If I were home with this, I could tune to 700 WLW, and I could listen. Hi, bye. Ronnie's also doing the hi, bye. Well, hello and goodbye. We've got two hi, byes. Ronnie hadn't been here. If you're still around for a minute, you haven't. Well, at least I haven't seen you in the chat. But I was going to let you know the zines are going to be going out very soon. They're out to print right now. And today, I got the majority of my very first demo track, we could say, for the next Super Divorce album. Almost all the way done. So, that's cool. I'm going to have some time tomorrow, and I hope to get that finished, and also the cover song recorded, too, so I can get those cassette tapes ordered, hopefully tomorrow as well. And then all of April's stuff will be shipped out early next week. And then I'll have to get on creating the May packages for the members here. Want to be a member? Want to be a member? That's what I'm talking about. For people who become members of my channel, at the middle or highest tier, you can get a zine. Like, I'm making a physical magazine. How many people do that? How many YouTubers are making a zine to ship out to their channel members? I feel like most people just say, oh, give me some extra money and I'll do an exclusive stream just for members and you guys can ask me questions once a month. And I'm like, that's fucking lame. Sorry. Not trying to throw shade, but if you get caught in it, not my problem. Be more creative. Be more creative as a creator, as a content creator. What are you going to do? You're going to only give people digital perks forever? We got to get out of the matrix. As a guru of mine said, you know, you have to be getting into the secrets. You've got to remove yourself from the normal facade of everyday reality and into the secrets. You have to be dark whimsy maxing, is what this guy says. Maybe we could review that video and see what you guys think of dark whimsy maxing. How many of you out there right now, without even looking, think that you might be dark whimsy maxing in your everyday life? Anyone? Any of you? I just realized that I've got this other chat option here to pull up. But, you know, it's just the old-fashioned Friday night chill-out zone. What I was saying is it's bullshit that you can listen to a Reds game or a Bengals game, or if you're not from Cincinnati area, whatever your sports team is, chances are, if you're local, you can tune into the game for free on your AM radio through your local sports talk radio station. Yet, if you use the internet radio, it's blacked out. They'll have some other program playing and you won't be able to hear the game. Why? Because they charge an arm and a leg for you to be able to listen to the games if you don't live close by. Just listen. We're not talking about tuning into the cable broadcast. I'm talking about just tuning your radio, turning your radio on. And I just think that's kind of bullshit. Not that it's not here nor there. It's, well, maybe. It's somewhere. But it doesn't really matter, does it? I guess it's alright. It'll be okay. I might go to a movie tomorrow. Jess and I might go see, what is it called? Clown in the Cornfield? Cornfield Clown. It's like a Grandpa Corn Miser type film. What's it called? I gotta look it up now. Clown in the Cornfield. What is it? What's it called? Clown in a Cornfield. That's what it is. Clown in a Cornfield. We might go see that. What are you going to get up to tomorrow? Whoever's watching and feels like engaging in the chat. Maybe you're just lurking. What's up, Sona? How's it going? What are you doing tomorrow, Sona? Anything fun? Are you going to Atlantic City tomorrow? Do you have that on the calendar yet? Might you do it tomorrow? What else? I just read this. I read this in one sitting. Slight spoiler. I reviewed this. Just a quick review. Just a quickie review in the Super Zine. I reviewed this book and I thought it would be timely because they're about to release a Netflix version, an adaptation, if you will, of The Prom Queen, part of R.L. Stine's Fear Street series. And it was a quick read. I read it, like I said, one sitting. I just sat down and went through it. Buzzed right through it. I like these Fear Street books. These are fun. But I don't know how the Netflix film is going to be. Sona has a book called Clown in a Cornfield. I wonder if it's based off the same thing. Could that be? Maybe we can check. Perhaps we can check it out. Here. Whoops. No. No, not that. Let me turn... No, not that. Is that it? The display? Or was it the window? What's going on there? Whoa, we're getting far out and trippy. There, that's what I was trying to do. We don't need that on. We don't need that on. That okay, what happens there? Okay. Yeah, let me search this up real quick. I got to make sure that I put Twitter away, because if I don't and I have it open on my feed, you know, Twitter X is wild. You never know what's going to come up. So, I don't want some against TOS stuff to pop up there and ruin my channel. So just enjoy the darkness for a second. Enjoy the silence. Clown in a Cornfield trailer. Let's see. Let's check this out here and see what Clown in a Cornfield trailer is all about. This one's got 4 million views. That seems to be the one everyone's watching. And it's okay for me to show this because I'm reacting to it. It's a reaction video. And that's okay. That's allowed. Isn't it? People do those. Good Brother said it's a book and a movie. But are they simpatico? Are they connected? That's the question. Here's the trailer for Clown in a Cornfield. Hopefully this doesn't get my channel taken offline. Hopefully they don't stop my damn broadcast in the middle just because I'm reacting to the trailer. Let's react. Super Divorce reacts. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for. Why don't you turn your channel into a reaction channel where you just watch shit that other people have made and react to it in a fake, bogus, and exaggerated way? Movie budget $1 million. It'll be a butthole of a production. Not the case. No. You know why? Hollywood has fleeced people. We're so used to movies having billion-dollar budgets now. You know, might as well be hundreds of millions of dollars that we hear $1 million and we think that you can't make a good movie. You can. You absolutely can. You absolutely can make a decent film with $1 million now, especially within the horror genre. Because, you know, I'm not talking trash, but when you're making a slasher, it's like you don't need to go and get an Academy Award winning cinematographer. You don't need to contract out Hans Zimmer. You can put together a good film that checks all the boxes, that makes everyone happy for pretty cheap. I mean, I think all of the Terrifier films have been produced fairly low cost. And there was a huge jump in quality from Terrifier 1 to 2. And then I think I think 3 in some ways took it to another level, but it's pretty even with 2, I think. Quality wise, production value wise. Well, exactly. You don't have to film on, you can film on an iPhone, and to the untrained eye, it can look really good. Or you can get a nice digital camera. It doesn't have to be shot on film anymore. Quentin Tarantino wouldn't like to hear that. Film purists wouldn't like to hear that, but for practical purposes, you can make a movie and do a pretty decent job without paying an arm and a leg for a bunch of film, you know? Yeah, remember the React rules. You have to pause frequently. Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's see what this clown in a cornfield is all about. When did DJs start using that voice, by the way? Why do they all do that? Hello, and welcome back. That was Oasis with Wonderwall. Why'd they do that? Is it so that people can hear through the static and the jumble mo better, like when sound quality wasn't the best? Is that something they came up with so people would be able to hear them speaking more clearly? Do you think that's what it came from? Make myself larger. Well, I don't... Hold on. I don't want to be taking up too much of the screen because then you won't be able to see the damn film. And sometimes I see these reaction people and they're taking up damn near half of the screen. It's like, well, I can't even see what's going on anymore. It looks like you're reacting to yourself. So, well, yeah, Nolan is in a class of his own. And I'm not going to take away from dudes who want to shoot on film. If I were a movie maker, I would want to shoot on film. But I realize I'd have to like baby step to get to the point where I was able to shoot on film. I'd start shooting however I could. I'd do it the way I'm doing it now. And if I made a lot of money, then I would certainly at some point probably like to invest in a film production. I think that'd be really cool to do. Even with the stuff I'm doing. I've thought about doing that. I thought that it would be fun to make a Super Divorce movie at some point. Inside the kind of Super Divorce lore that we're building. Not yet, but further down the road, after we get to maybe 100 episodes of the Super Duper Divorce video series, maybe then. I think that'd be cool. Bender's down. We could make a Grandpa Corn Miser slasher film. There's all sorts of stuff we could do. The Super Divorce cinematic universe. You know, we've already got a kind of cast of characters. Sona wants to be an extra. Maybe I'll write you a part that's more significant than an extra. Who knows? Let me see if I can... I'll try to make this a little bigger here. Nope, that didn't do it. Damn it. See, trying to change this shit on the fly can be just really silly. Let's try taking that out to about right there. And then I'll try taking this out to about right there. Just a little bit bigger. Is that okay? I hope that's all right. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into Clown in a Cornfield official trailer from Shudder. All right. Oh, nope. So sorry. You need to hear it mo better. There you go. All right. Let's get into it. Clown in a Cornfield official trailer from Shudder. All right. What's it going to be like? I I can barely contain myself. Whoa.
This is what I wanted to show you.
Whoa, hold on. What was that? That was... Look! There's a clown right here. What does that say? Bay Pen? Bay Pen? What are we on here? We're on 1080... It was on auto. I want it to be 1080p. Look, there's a clown already. Clown in the cornfield, so we can see right off the bat that the title connects to at least this first frame here that we're seeing, where the lady's holding, what is that, a jack in the box? A clown in the box? Back to the trailer.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah,
What do you say? Is it cool?
Yeah. Isn't it cool? What I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. Isn't it cool?
Is it
Yeah,
cool?
it is really.
This is what he wanted to show her. He wanted to show her this box. And he was thinking, well, if I show her my box, maybe she'll show me hers. It's a jack-o'-lantern in the box. Is that what it is?
Really cool. Where'd you get it from?
It's really cool. Where'd you get it from? He's about to tell her. Maybe. Do you think he's going to tell her where he got it? I wonder if I can make the most annoying, frustrating reaction video that anyone's ever seen. Can I drag this out for... How long can I drag this out? I don't want to put a time on it, but I'm curious to see how long. You think it might be a Sonichu medallion in a box? Now that'd be something else. You think Chris Chan stores the Sonichu medallion in his box?
I'm OG Kettle Springs, baby.
He's OG Kettle Springs. Now that is either where they're from, or it could be that in this movie's universe they have a certain brand of soap. I like Irish Spring. This would be Kettle Springs. You can imagine Kettle Springs soap kind of having like a popcorn smell to it. Kind of a popcorny, rustic flavor when you're in the shower. I'd say when it's sitting there on your little rack in front of you, maybe hanging from the, the shower head, maybe it'd be soap on a rope. When it's just hanging, if you walked up and sniffed it, that it might smell a little buttery. But then when the steam starts rolling up and it gets hot in your shower, especially when you get under the water, you start scrubbing up and it bubbles, then it would actually start to smell like popcorn. So Kettle Springs soap maybe is what he uses, and you can tell that he's got a pretty decent complexion here. His skin looks pretty nice. He's got a little bit of rosy cheeks. My cheeks are a little rosy. They always have been. It's not really rosacea, I don't think. But I've got a bit of a pinkish hue on my cheeks. But maybe if I used Kettle Springs, it would even the tone out a little bit.
I got all kinds of stuff.
What do you say? He's an OG? Let's go back.
Where'd you get it from?
I'm OG Kettle Springs, baby. I got all kinds of stuff.
He's got all kinds of stuff. So this isn't the only thing he has. That Jack and the Lantern, it's not the only thing he's got. He's got all kinds of stuff because he's OG Kettle Springs. Now taking that into account, it makes me think that maybe if you are originally from Kettle Springs, you've had a long time to collect various knickknacks and assorted trinkets. And so he's collected not only the Jack and the Lantern, but he's also got a bunch of other stuff that she would be very fascinated with if she were to see it. So he's kind of hyping himself up as a collector of antiques. Like I said, knickknacks, trinkets, things that he thinks she's really going to be into. He, in his mind, is just, he's nailed it with this chick right now. And you can tell because he's probably done this before. He probably brings this with him on every date that he attends. And finally, a young lady took the bait and she's interested. And he's like, oh, yes. Finally, I found a lady who will actually enjoy my trinket collection. And that's why he says the line about being OG. Let's listen one more time.
Really cool. Where'd you get it from?
Here, let's listen to her react too. Let's just go back to the beginning of the trailer. Oh, and you can see they're driving. Is this a Jeep? Is that what that is? It could be a Jeep, or it could be a Geo Tracker, which you don't see very many of anymore. For a while there, it seemed like the Tracker was going to overtake Jeeps. Is that fair to say? In the early to mid 90s, Trackers were all over the place. You saw more Trackers on the road than you did Jeeps. And I think what led to the downfall of the Tracker was they didn't have a movement and they didn't have a community like Jeep does. Jeep people, they trade little rubber duckies with each other, and Tracker never had that. If Geo Tracker people would have built a community, a strong sense of community with one another, then I think that you would have seen a different scenario play out where maybe today we'd see Trackers all over the road and Jeep would have went under. We wouldn't be talking about Jeep Grand Cherokee. We'd be talking about Tracker Grand Cherokee, or I guess it'd be Geo Tracker Grand Cherokee. But this right here could be a Tracker. This could be some, maybe the kid's dad, because they don't make them anymore. So it would have been passed down to him, or maybe he bought it at a used car lot at a discount, because they're not seen as hip or cool anymore. But that's the first step to becoming hip and cool again. Good Brother says Geo Trackers got recalled because they had a high center of gravity and rolled easily. Well, it'd be better as if they were rolling into a big Geo Tracker meetup because they had developed a strong sense of community. And that could have blocked the recall. If they had a strong enough sense of community, then the Geo Tracker people could have rallied together and said, look, we have been on the road with this beautiful, beautiful vehicle for years now. We've built this sense of camaraderie. We've built this thing from the ground up. We've bought these vehicles from you. We're not giving them back. We have been exchanging. What maybe would they have given to each other in the 90s? Maybe to sort of one up the Jeep people, because they're trading rubber duckies. I mean, what is that? Like 25 cents and a little turnstile machine. But what if the Geo people were passing Beanie Babies back and forth in the 90s? You had peak 90s vehicle and peak 90s collectible, and they were freely exchanging them with each other. You come out of Kroger, or you come out of Spencer's Gifts, you come out of Gadzooks from the mall, and someone's left something like this. An official TY Beanie Baby sitting right on top of your Tracker. Maybe several of them. And people in the 90s would have bought Trackers just to get Beanie Babies for free. So they could have had something like that going on. But, it would have been better if they rolled into that position than to roll over on the road and have accidents occur. But even if that were happening, if the community had been there, they probably could have pushed back against the recall and said, actually, we're going to keep driving these. We'll be careful. Just make sure when you come out with the next wave of them that you iron that issue out. I mean, it would have been no problem. They could have done that. All right, let's start the trailer over again. So it goes down here, and real quick, you can see that I thought this was a cornfield because it's clown in a cornfield. But when you're looking right here, clearly, it's not a cornfield. This is not corn. No, that's not corn. This is going to be some different type of what are these? Maybe they're trees, maybe they're shrubberies. They could be, but that's not corn. So wherever they are right now, they're not in any real danger, I don't think, because we don't see any cornfields around. And since it's clown in a cornfield, we probably shouldn't plan on seeing the clown pop up just yet, unless he just pops out of the jack-in-the-box that she's going to be holding in her hand in just a second here. So let's start over again, and let's watch this very carefully here. So there it goes.
This is what I wanted to show you.
It's what he wanted to show her. She's holding it there. What does it say? Baypel? Baple. Maybe that's the clown's name. Maybe the clown's name is Baple. And it's got a little bit of rust on it, so you can tell it's old. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. This kid is a big antique guy. He's big into antiques. He's tried showing girls this thing before. They usually don't react very well. He doesn't get a big pop from it. But this, watch how she reacts here. Watch this.
Isn't it cool?
Is it cool? He wants to know. Look how excited he is. He's like this. He's leaning forward in anticipation. Is it cool? So he's not just like, pretty neat, right? What do you think of that? He's not doing that. This is the body language of a man who's excited to hear from his date what she thinks about the jack-in-the-box that he has just handed to her as they're out driving here in the night. And look, you can see he's so excited he's not even paying attention to the road, which is out here. If you look at this windshield, out here would be where the road is and all the surroundings, and possibly if he drives towards a cornfield, we saw some trees just back a little ways there, but he could be driving towards a cornfield and the clown could step right in front of the vehicle and he's not even going to know because he's too focused on what she's going to say. But let's see what she says.
Yeah, it is really cool. Where did you get it from?
Yeah, it is really cool. Where did you get it from? And he can barely hold himself together. He wants to answer so quickly. He's going to tell her right now. He's got a good hairstyle. It kind of reminds me of Jeremy London, who played T.S. Quint in Mallrats. He's got a little bit of a Jeremy London from Mallrats look to him. So he might have taken some inspiration from that film when he was studying for this role and preparing for it. He probably watched Mallrats a few times. He probably saw the way that Jeremy London presented himself on camera, and he said, you know, that guy really had it figured out. I'm going to try to model my presentation after him. Or maybe the people working on this film actually brought that to his attention. Maybe they said, you know, yeah, this is what we're supposed to see tomorrow, Jess. I'm reviewing and reacting to the Clown in a Cornfield trailer in depth, in as deep depth as I can possibly muster. I'm leaving no stone unturned, no jack-in-the-box unjacked. And so let's see what he says.
I'm OG Kettle Springs, baby. I got all kinds of stuff.
He's OG Kettle Springs, baby. I got all kinds of stuff. And that the use of baby right there, that's a sign that he knows he's got this whole thing in the bag. He knows it right there. This chick is all in. He might as well propose to her right now. You can't even focus on what? The trailer? You're having trouble focusing on the trailer? But she's very happy. Look at her. Well, no lions are trying to eat you right now. Far from lions. Far cry from lions. It's like a tadpole chasing a megalodon. Let's say that. That's your situation right now. Right now, you are a megalodon being chased by a fucking tadpole. Okay? So don't worry. Don't worry about a damn thing. It's fine. Now, continuing on here. What is this back here? I see some fabric that looks like it's kind of taut. Could that be something? Or is that just a shadow?
Does it work?
Does it work? Now that could be a double entendre. She could be talking about the Jack in the Box, or she could be talking about the Jack in his box, so to speak. And this is where the sparks we can already see are starting to fly on camera. They're giving a little bit of the romance away in the trailer here. And that's okay, because you need to have that. I mean, imagine going back, you watch the trailer for When Harry Met Sally, and they've got Meg Ryan having a full-blown orgasm within the first 30 seconds of you watching the trailer. So don't tell me that a little double entendre is going too far. You know, if that's the case, then, you know, you just go put on your Puritan robes and I don't know, go read I don't know. Shit. Go read a little golden book. Back to the trailer.
Try it.
Try it. See? What did she say? Does this work?
Stuff.
Does it work?
Does it work?
Try it.
Try it. And that's his rebuttal that also has a double sexual meaning to it. And, you know, I mean, you can tell the look that they're giving each other that it's going places, and they both know it right away. I mean, this is Sparks Flying 101. And so she's going to open this, or she's going to attempt to, and whatever happens here is probably going to be a sign of things to come. Okay, so she's cranking it, and now we're getting a close-up. He's watching too, and that means he's not watching the road. So let's pay attention to that. He's watching her crank it, which means he's not paying attention to what's happening outside on the road here. Oh, it's Bapin. It's Bapin brand. Does it say corn syrup? A little drop of Bapin and everything's better. Okay. Bapin brand corn syrup. A little drop of Bapin. Does it say makes? I think it's makes. A little drop of Bapin makes everything better. So this clown might be named Bapin since it's his brand. They've branded it after Bapin the clown. And just a little drop of Bapin makes everything better. I would have tried to rhyme that at the end. Because what do they say? It's something about... Isn't there one? Well, there's a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. But that's got a sing-songy thing because it's from an actual song. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Medicine go down. Medicine go down. I don't know if you can really do that with this. A little drop of Bapin makes... No, it doesn't roll. It doesn't work for... A little drop of Bapin makes everything better. A little drop of Bapin makes everything better. I mean, you can you can cram it in to a little song, but it would have been better if it was a little drop of bacon. A little drop of bacon makes good things happen. You know, you can toy with it. You can mold words, play around with the pronunciation a little bit. A little drop of bacon makes everything happen. Makes everything good happen. A little drop of bacon makes everything good happen. There you go. A little drop of bacon makes everything good happen. And there you go. Everything good. You get people thinking about everything good that happens in life. It was probably because there was a little drop of Bacon brand corn syrup put in the mix there. But let's see what happens as she continues to crank. Oh, now, look. She has become alerted to something going on outdoors. Look, something caught her eye probably before the driver did. She probably saw it before the driver did, whatever's out here. And I bet it might be Bacon himself that we're going to see. Good Brother wants to know, why is it filmed a half step out of focus? Well, I think they're just toying around. I think they're just, they're trying to highlight certain things, right? Right now, they don't want you to be focused on Bacon. They want you to focus on her face. That's why her face is in focus and nothing else is. So they're trying to highlight with the focus everything they want you to see in the frame. And everything else has kind of been glazed. It's got a thick gloss of molasses painted over it so that you don't look at other shit. But we're going to try and do that to see if we can find any secrets like this up here. Look. It looks like it might be raining outdoors. There's some drops on the windshield, or that might just be like detritus from bugs that have been splattered on the windshield. You don't see that as much as you used to. I saw someone point that out recently. But, I don't know. Up! Okay. What are we seeing here? This looks like it's not Bacon. That's not Bacon at all. This is clearly a hunter. He's wearing camouflage, and he's carrying, it looks like a buck, because you can see some antlers here, but it doesn't look too big. A small buck. Nothing that's going to be too impressive to any of this guy's pals. He might be so embarrassed he doesn't even tell anyone about this kill. Because look at that. That's nothing to write home about. That's not going to make anyone perk up. You know, no one's going to care about that. His friends aren't going to give a shit. And he's wearing a tiny little cap. It looks like he's wearing like a Ty Cobb hat. So he might be a fan of old baseball. He prefers to buy these super tiny, old-timey baseball caps, the likes of which Ty Cobb and Shoeless Joe Jackson might have worn back in the olden days. I need big red arrows to point at nothing in the thumbnail. Yes, exactly. That's the idea. We've got some green up here. Could that be a green light? Like a traffic light. The location of it doesn't make any sense as a traffic light. To have just one traffic light over here hanging by itself, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that... Maybe it's a sensor on the rearview mirror. They have those sometimes. Which would mean that this can't be a tracker. If they've got a sensor on the mirror to sense when you're backing up, if you're going to hit something, we can confirm they're not driving a tracker. Unless they had the tracker modified. They could have taken it into a shop and had the tracker modified for this film. That's also possible. And he's gripping his steering wheel pretty tight here. Let's see what happens with the hunter. Oh. We don't want to miss that. Is she going to drop? No, she's still holding on. He's still staring at the damn box. She's had long enough to react fully. She's got her hand out. Her eyes are wide open. She's yelling. And he still kind of has a smirk on his face, looking down at the Jack-in-the-Box. So, I mean, his mind is just completely elsewhere. He is focused on other things. He's seeing the future play out for him right now. He's imagining their lives together 10, 15, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road, kids coming over for Thanksgiving and Christmas, all this kind of stuff. His mind is not here. His mind is not attuned to be paying attention to possible people walking out on the road, be it Bapin or a hunter. But she's not quite there with him. She's impressed. She likes it, but she's going to need a little more coaxing before she gets on his level. Back to the trailer. Okay, now he snaps too. Not because of the danger in the road, but because I think he saw the way she reacted and he appreciated that. He wants their future together to work out. He wants it to go well. He wants to be in her corner, and he wants her to know, when you have a problem, I'll be there for you. I'm going to help you attend to it. My wife was having a problem. I try to help her attend to it. And that's, I think, what a good husband does. I don't want to say partner. I don't like it when people say partner and they're not gay. I think partner is reserved for the gay community. Anytime I hear someone talk about their partner, that's automatically what I think of. I think it's strange. That's a strange one. You can use whatever language you want to. It's just, if I don't know you very well and you start talking about your partner did this, your partner did that, I'm just going to assume that you're gay. That's just how it is. Your partner. Because that was always, it was crafted as a euphemism when people didn't want to be out in the open, when people were more relegated to the closet. That was a way that they could introduce their homosexual lover to family and friends. This is my partner. Not boyfriend, not girlfriend. We're not that. It's just my partner. We're partners. We partnered up. And it kind of would, when times were, let's say, what'd you say? Well, again, when people were still in the closet more and weren't as comfortable being open about it, that was often how it was presented. This is my partner. So I feel like it was reserved for that. And then I don't know when this happened. I started seeing this maybe several years ago where straight people started referring to their girlfriend or boyfriend or even their husband or wife as their partner. It's like, wait, hold on. Wait, why are you using that word? That's not that was for gay people. That's what they were using. That's how it was always done. Why did you have to start doing that? Again, you can do whatever you want to. I'm just like, why? What's wrong with boyfriend or girlfriend? It's like people are trying to go out of their way to not say boyfriend and girlfriend or husband or wife. Partner. They used partner initially because they didn't feel comfortable enough to use girlfriend or boyfriend, even though that's what they knew what they were. I think behind closed doors, that's probably what they would have said. Or husband or wife. But somehow partner like started climbing the ladder to success, and I don't understand it. Back to the trailer. Jorphus has to go now. All right, Jorphus. No problem. Hope you had a good Duolingo session. Hope I didn't interrupt it too much. All right. Okay, so I was right. He's holding... Oh, look at that. Yeah, this thing's tiny. This guy's going to get made fun of. What was really brutal? Your Duolingo or my commentary? This guy's going to get made fun of by all of his hunting buddies. Look at this thing. To me, you don't even shoot this guy. this deer, this buck. I mean, that's a small fry. Right? I'm not crazy for thinking that, am I? Good brother? You wouldn't shoot this. You wouldn't take this guy out with this, like, I mean, he's just getting started here. This is just getting started. This dude's like, this is a small fry. You should be embarrassed to go home with this unless your family is starving. If it were, whatever, wild times, you're back in like pioneer days or some shit and you haven't eaten in a while and then you see that, okay, fine. Fair game. Literally. Fair game. But in this day and age, if you go out and you shoot this thing, it looks like a dog. I mean, yeah, it's like the Grinch's dog with the little antlers just tied around his head. All right. So it's a real deer in the headlights situation, but the deer's already dead here. I wonder how many times that's happened. That's an interesting one. Deer in headlights, but the deer's already dead and there's a guy holding it. And he's, confirmed here he is an old-timey baseball fan. He's got the Ty Cobb shoeless Joe Jackson style baseball cap. He's probably a fan of the 1919 White Sox. If you asked him questions about the 1919 World Series scandal, I bet he'd be just a bag of tricks for you. And what's this? Is that his gun? That looks like a strange weapon. What is this right here on the side? Good brother, can you identify what's going on here that I'm tracing with the mouse? Because I have to assume he's holding his gun. If he's got the deer, they're trying to convey this guy was just out hunting. He doesn't look dirty at all. That's maybe some oversight. He should have been just a little bit of dirt, because you're seeing the light shine right on where he would have been kneeling. But he's like totally clean. They didn't even rough this costume up at all. Maybe there's a little blood dripping down right there from the deer. They might have gotten that detail. But there's something attached right here on the side, and I don't know what that would be. It makes it look not like a gun. But let's continue. Okay, now he's holding it from this side, and we see the hooves, and he's had a few seconds to react himself. And it's like, who reacts this way? It's almost like he started carrying the deer across the road and was imbued with deer reactions. He was inspirited by the spirit of the deer that he just killed, and now he's reacting the way a deer would by standing directly in front of the Jeep that's coming at him, staring directly into the headlights. He's reacting just as this deer would have. And so maybe that says something about the plot of this film. It has to do with maybe spiritual transference from animals to humans. That could be an element, a thread that we have to watch out for as we're examining this trailer, see if we see anything like that come up again. Or it could be a one-off. It could be a one-off occurrence that happened one time in the movie, and 99.999 repeating percent of people are going to miss it, but you got it because you came here for this analysis. And I'm not letting anything get away from me here. I'm looking out here to the sides. I'm seeing they've driven far enough down the road where all the trees are gone now. And it didn't seem like the trees were too far back. They hadn't been traveling that long. So we've transitioned to a completely new area rather quickly. This guy took a step out in the road, and I just want to see something. Look, when they first, okay, here he is. He knows they're coming right here. Is this the initial reaction? Where does he first show up? He first shows up right there. He had to know a long time ago that this car was coming down the road. And so he starts walking. Here he is. He's got the legs spread apart. And then she says, look out. He reacts. And now, instead of jumping back, getting out of the road, he turns and just squares up with the fucking Jeep like he's going to do something. I'm telling you, he's been taken over by the spirit of the deer. That's the only explanation. That's it. It comes to a screeching halt. Oh, here you go. Okay, now let's try and get a better look here. What does he have? Is that, is he keeping the shells in some sort of, what is that? Some sort of sleeve? Like a shell sleeve that you can keep at the bottom? Is that kosher? Would you want to do that if you're out hunting? As opposed to keeping them maybe on your body somewhere? It seems like that would be unwieldy if that's what I'm seeing. And also, is he carrying a shotgun? I don't know my weapons as well as Good Brother. But this looks like a shotgun to me. It looks like his hand is right here where you'd pump it. It looks like he's been pumping, but I don't see any damage to this deer that would suggest he hit it with a shotgun. Maybe you can see that now. We'll come back to it. But he's looking. They're stopping. They're screeching. Okay, they made the stop. Now they're having just a square off. And now there's Bapin. Bapin jumps out. Let's listen to Bapin again. It looks like Bapin might have... It could just be a skinny hand or it could be a hook. And this one looks kind of like a strange hook too. But he's got a red nose just like in the picture here. The black cap that's the same. Eyes. I mean, it's a one-to-one recreation of the Bapin logo that we see down here in cartoon form. Kind of candy striped pajamas that he's wearing. The red mouth. And then the laugh. Typical clown laugh. So nothing really crazy is jumping out to me there. I mean, he jumped out, but we expected that. Good Brother said, yeah, he's got a shell holder here in this picture. It's a shell holder. But legal capacity is 4 rounds for deer hunting. It's a 12 gauge. Well, looking at this deer, front and back, do you see anything that would suggest this deer has been hit by a shotgun blast? I mean, it's like I said, it's possible, but he would have had to blast it almost like under its belly on the underside, because I don't see any damage here, and there's none in the back, none in the front here. We don't see anything like that. So that'd be a strange shot to pull off. Anyway, let's continue examining. There's Bapin. All right, RLJE Films. No, they did not do their due diligence. There would have been more blood had that deer actually been hit by a real shotgun blast. Okay, so I think the first 26 seconds we have taken care of pretty well. I think we combed through that footage and we did a pretty good job of sorting out what's what. All right. Moving on now. The next section here. It's daytime. RLJE Films. Okay. I don't know what that stands for, but it's certainly something. We've got some hay bales here. Now we finally see the titular cornfield. Clown in a cornfield, and this vehicle is pulling a trailer They got something else on top too. Maybe they're going on vacation. Also from Shudder. Okay. Oh, look. Welcome to Kettle Springs. Now, we heard... Where are we? 27 seconds. We heard this guy talk about how he's a Kettle Springs OG. Meaning that he has lots of knickknacks, lots of antiques. Where I used to live in Lebanon, Ohio, they're famous for all their antique shops. So it might be a similar situation where they have lots of antiques, lots of places you can go to buy classic knickknacks and trinkets for your trinket and knickknack collection. Now, if you have a personal favorite knickknack or trinket, let me know in the comments below. Or if you're here watching, please let me know in the chat. What's your favorite trinket? My great-grandma used to have a bunch of trinkets. Actually, my great-great-grandma. I feel like a lot of people don't get to meet their great-great-grandparents, but I actually met my great-great-grandma quite a few times. I think she was alive until I was maybe like 5 or 6. Something like that. But she had a huge trinket collection. Lots of little glass ornaments and sculptures. Some were clowns, actually, coincidentally. Some were clowns, horses, little babies, dancers. And then they'd be all different shades and different colors of like translucent glass trinkets. She had them up on a big display, multi-tiered. You don't see those very often anymore. Not many people in my age bracket or younger are collecting traditional trinkets. I have a lot of things that people might consider trinkets. You know, like a little E.T. figurine about yay big, or whatever. Like a small snow globe. The small killer clown snow globe that I've got. That's a trinket. Some people would say this is a trinket. My boglin. This little mini boglin. I mean, these are the kinds of trinkets that I collect. I don't do like the glass sculptures that are just like a guy riding a horse. Or a tiny little cow that's translucent blue. I don't have anything like that. Do you? Do you know anyone who does? They've got to still make them. Huh? They sell this stuff at stores. They sell them at antique shops. Antique shops stay in business. Who's buying all of the little trinkets now? Back to the Shudder. Okay. Welcome to Kettle Springs, Missouri. Home of the world famous Bapin corn syrup. So this place is big for its corn syrup. All right. Jess will not like that. Jess doesn't like that corn syrup. She is not a fan. She is not going to like Kettle Springs. And that's such a shame that it had to be corn syrup and not something a little more charming. You know, with all the bad press corn syrup's getting today, I feel like it would have been better to maybe go with, I don't know, kettle corn. Maybe kettle corn? Popcorn, just traditional popcorn. But Kettle Springs, I feel like it was right there. I feel like Kettle Springs, known for its world famous kettle corn. Welcome to Kettle Springs, home of the world famous Bapin kettle corn. Jess says never ever corn syrup. Never ever. Never ever ever? Never ever ever. For Jess. Uh-oh. Best viewers on streamboo.com. I've got a comment over on Twitch from a spam bot. Why do they do it? Why? Why even waste the time? I've asked it before, but seriously, what's the conversion rate? What's the conversion rate? It has to be below 1%. I mean, well below. It's got to be close to 0, actually. Who's clicking through on that? Whoop. No, I don't need a double voice. Can I just take care of this? Yeah. Ban. Magic, what are they called? Magical Looter Magical Looter G1ILCFYU. Well, now you're banned. I mean, imagine coming into someone's stream. There's no one watching on Twitch at all. And you come in and you say, best viewers on streamboo.com. I mean, it's just, what a waste. What a waste of time and resources. We're going to run streamboo.com. What is that? It's probably one of them shits where you get fake viewers. And how pathetic if you do that, by the way. I'd rather sit at 0 viewers for eternity than buy into some fake ass, fake view fucking bullshit like streamboo.com. You guys can take that and shove it right up your poop chutes. You can take a cob of Kettle Springs corn and shove it right up your rectum. Streamboo. What? Or people who hop in like for like. I mean, I had someone do that the other night and they were pleasant enough. I explained, I don't do that. They at least talked back to me and they're like, okay, no problem. But that's also fraudulent. And it never, it's like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't yield anything worthwhile. You're not actually creating any sort of lasting relationship. Like for like? Sub for sub? No, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. People have this idea that that's somehow helpful. Sub for sub? No, how about you sub to my channel or my account if you like what I'm doing? And I'll sub to yours if I like what you're doing. But I'm not going to do it just because you did it for me. Like you're doing me a favor. I don't want favor views. I don't want people to come in and watch because they feel like, I'm owed a nicety. It's like I want people to watch or listen or interact because they're having a good time because they actually like the shit. I can't think of any situation where a like for like scenario has led to a meaningful, lasting relationship of any kind for anyone. Besides just inflating your numbers. But at a certain point, people, they see through that. And it looks silly. It looks really dumb. I had it with, I actually deleted my ex at one point. My old Twitter account. Because way back in, I think it was Sleep Star Ignition days, before Super Divorce, it was the same account. It just kind of got transferred over. But everyone was doing that. And it was like the big thing to do. And I will admit that was like the one time that I got roped into anything like that. And there were like all these different programs coming out that you could use. And it was that just like for like thing. You'd go and you'd like a bunch of pages, and then those people would like your shit, and it's like, boom, oh, wow, look how many people are here. Look at all that shit. Look at all these numbers. Look at all these followers we got. But then, here's the problem. You've got like 10,000 followers, and you post something, and it gets 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 retweets, and you just look like a fool. You look like a big dumb dummy. So ever since then, very quickly, I saw how stupid that looked. And so it was like, it was something that we dabbled in for a very short period of time. And then I was going through and trying to unfollow people. And then I realized that there was a limit, and you would get put in timeout for unfollowing too many people. And I was like, oh my God. So we're just stuck with this account where we've got all these followers. None of them are real. And it looks totally stupid anytime we post anything because no one's actually here for us. It was all a big scheme and a scam. And so I stay away from that shit. I would advise everyone to do the same. Just build your shit and let it happen in its own time. Don't force any of that stuff. Don't try to inflate your numbers. Just get there honestly and be happy with the people that you do have. That's where I am. That's where I've been for quite some time. And I'm glad to be here. Okay? Anyhow, Good Brother said, creeping up on the world record length React video. That's the idea. I told you I was going to see how long we could stretch this out. So welcome to Kettle Springs, Missouri, home of the world famous Bapin corn syrup. There's a bottle of Bapin. Let's continue. Oh, look. So cornfield, they're driving. We see what might be a barn out there. That could be Bapin's secret hideout. Let's see if we get any more information about that moving forward. Back to the trailer.
They're really big on tradition around here.
Hold on, let's go back.
They're really big on tradition.
Hold on.
They're really big on tradition around here.
They're really big on tradition in Kettle Springs. So look at this. This is nice. I like this setting. This reminds me of Lebanon. This reminds me of where we used to live. Reminds me of where we used to live. I broke into the old apartment. That's not a good thing to do. You're thinking about where you used to live. I've had several apartments that I used to live in. I don't think that the complex or the current owners, not owners, tenants, would appreciate if I just went and broke into the old apartment so that I could kind of relive the glory days, relive my past. Just have a nostalgic evening to start thinking about. I was driving by. Hey, the old complex. Huh. This is where I used to live. I'm going to break into my old apartment. And you could get in a lot of trouble for that. So if you listen to Bare Naked Ladies, be careful, because sometimes nostalgia can sweep over you like a tidal wave. Don't get carried away, especially when you're listening to Bare Naked Ladies, because like I said, it could ensnare you, inspirit you in a sense. What could be in the U-Haul at trailer? Asked Good Brother. Moving to Kettle Springs or bringing supplies for a parade float? That could be. As we saw, I pointed that out. They're driving in. Maybe we can see. It just says, you move it. We can't get a good, clear shot. I was thinking maybe, yeah, it's just you move it. I don't see any like stickers or anything. But don't forget they got this extra pack up here. They could be bringing kettle corn. They could be a vendor. There would be supplies for a float.
Really big on tradition around here.
Big on tradition. So yeah, this is a nice Main Street parade. This makes me want it to be fall already. Just watching this right here, just this one shot, I'm looking forward to fall time. The best part of the year is because I really love Christmas season too. But the best chunk of the year is like August through December. I get really, really jazzed and excited about Halloween though. So, starting in early August, I was just telling Jess, I was like, we're like 2 months and some change from seeing Halloween stuff in the stores again. That's fantastic. And I don't necessarily want to rush through summer because I enjoy my summertime. I enjoy it. I enjoy the heat. I enjoy a little bit of hot summer heat, swimming pools and stuff like that, going to KI, having cookouts, 4th of July. I love 4th of July. You got to love the 4th of July. I'm just saying, when it's over, I'm not one of those people who's like lamenting that the pools are closing and all that stuff, because I know the greatest time of the year is about to start, and it's what you're seeing right here. This is probably, you know, I don't know, this could be late September that we're looking at, depending on what they said, Missouri. If I had to guess, this would be late September, early October. It was really green here. A lot of the trees stayed super green until kind of deep into October this past year. So you're looking around and you're like, but wait, the leaves are changing. Don't you think it's probably a different time? No, I think that's pretty accurate. But we've got a little bug here with Bapin the clown and Americana regalia. It's very festive and very patriotic. It's a patriotic, festive town, a little small town. I like that. I like small towns. I was born in a small town. And there's Bapin holding his corn. This could just as easily be Grandpa Corn Miser. So I can take notes here about the possibility of a Corn Miser movie in the future, and it could maybe be like a bit of a parody, because it'd have to be lighthearted. I wouldn't want Corn Miser to be turned into just like a cold-blooded killer. I think it would be untrue to his character. I think he's got a good heart. So, but I might be able to get some ideas by watching this. No hoods, no hoods and hats on in Missouri. Got to be late November at the earliest. Late November at the earliest. Late November? So you think right now, by looking at this frame, this setting, this is late November at the earliest? That can't be right. There's no way. This is not how it looks in Missouri, in Kettle Springs in late November. This is around like Halloween time. No way it's late November. Because that means we're just weeks away from Christmas. Absolutely not. I challenge that observation big time. Missouri's hot. Look at the clothes. Yeah, they're dressed for fall time. They're dressed for fall time. This is a fall setting. It's not late Missouri, or late November in Missouri. Oh, Bustin's coming in with a combo breaker saying spring is better. No dumb holidays you feel obligated to celebrate. Cool breezes. That's horse shit. What a Scrooge. No dumb holidays. I love holidays. I love celebrating holidays. I think you're a real curmudgeon, is what you've revealed here, BJ. No dumb holidays. Really? Unreal. Okay, so this guy is wearing a clown nose. I'm trying to see if there are any characters who stand out to us here. This guy's he's pulling the clown cart. Good Brother says BJ can thack right off. I agree on that one. That's a horrible take. I think that's an awful take, BJ. That spring is better than fall time through the end of the year because you don't like celebrating any holidays. How boring. How boring is that? Just absolute boredom. So he's holding one corn, There's another big corn here. We got the clown guy with the clown nose. This could be the real Bapin in real life, just with his mask off or with his paint undone, with no skull cap. He doesn't have his silly clown hair on. That's possible. It could be they're showing Bapin to us right here very early on. And again, 99.99999 repeating percent of people are going to miss it. But right here, you're getting the kind of analysis that only Super Divorce can provide. Now, we've got some cotton candy back there. We've got most everyone looking pretty happy that we can see. I don't see any suspicious characters who are like leering ominously. This little girl is wearing a clown nose. They might give those clown noses away to people just for fun. Kind of the way in Thanksgiving, in the movie Thanksgiving, they gave away the killer masks to everyone in town because it was just like part of the tradition, part of the big festival. That was a great movie. Great slasher. Great slasher. I don't think it gets enough love. Thanksgiving. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, let's move on.
Every year there's this parade where...
Okay, who is this? They want us to look at this guy for some reason. Here's some Bapin corn syrup. Some very large containers of Bapin corn syrup. Probably not really full. They could be, but I would say probably not. They're just on display here just for fun. And I don't think this guy's just having a good time. Something about him feels like they're pointing him out for a reason. Like, pay attention to this fellow. He's either a bad guy or he's a red herring. And he's even got red hair, which that's like a Scooby-Doo callback. Reminds you of Red Herring. There's actually a guy with red hair on Scooby-Doo.
where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Oh, what do you say?
Every year there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Every year there's a parade where what?
Every year there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Where everyone gathers around a friend or float?
Every year there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Gathers around a friend or float.
Everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Oh, is that the girl from the car ride?
Every year there's this parade
Okay, he's really happy. He's having a good time.
where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Every year there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend or float. He's describing this scene that we just saw to this lady who, is this the same girl from the beginning? Is that her? She looks similar. Let me see. Let's see. Let's go back to...
Try it.
I think that might be her. Yeah, that's got to be her. That's the same girl. Yeah. But she was hanging out with the Kettle Springs OG. I suppose she may be a new student. Maybe her family just moved to Kettle Springs. Maybe she was in the car that was pulling the trailer. Right here?
They're really big on tradition around here.
Every year there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend or float.
Okay, all right. Oh, and look, yep, this is the guy that she ends up going out with. I just saw him now. Okay, here's the Jeremy London from Mallrats guy who she's going to go out with. He is the OG of Kettle Springs. And we've got our jock character right here. We've got the cheerleader. You gotta check all the boxes here with your kind of teen slasher flasher. We've got We got this guy. We got her. Now, traditionally, as pointed out in, say, Scary Movie, you know, they said you have the token black guy, you know, in this, in a pretty, what looks to be kind of like white bread area, a white bread neighborhood. You have your token black guy. It never works out well, it usually doesn't. Something that's just always, that's kind of how it's always gone. It's one of those things, one of those established things over time where you watch enough of these films. Even, who says it? Who references that? There's a black character, there's a black man in one slasher film, and he's referencing that trope. I believe the line is something like, brothers don't last long in situations like these. And now I can't remember which movie that is. But in this film, they've got two African American characters here amongst the crowd, and then you've got this other girl who I'm guessing is going to be kind of like the final girl, another trope, if you will. Another thing that's been established over time, where you could say horror films, in that sense, perhaps some of the most feminist-friendly films that you can find out there, because it's almost always the final girl, your Jamie Lee Curtis type, you know, your Heather Langenkamp, your Neve Campbell. It's almost going to be a lady who doesn't look that imposing. It's not like the final girl always looks like China or Rhea Ripley. The final girl usually looks unassuming and usually pretty, usually a pretty girl, but usually not like the knockout. Usually not the one who's like the beauty queen, the pageant winner. You go back to like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Sarah Michelle Gellar plays the sort of beauty pageant queen, the queen of the city, when they have their parade. You see how that turns out for her. And it's the more unassuming Jennifer Love Hewitt who ends up being the survivor. But anyway, that's what's going on here. That's I think kind of the breakdown of the cast. Not looking good for anyone on the screen right now, save for this girl over here. She's probably going to become romantically involved with the OG. She's going to take quite a liking to him, and it's not going to go well. And that's going to be a horrific time. Oh, we've got some updates on the seasons here. Good Brother says, in Missouri, the deer hunting season is a multi-part event with different methods and periods open at different times. Season runs from November 26th to January 15th. What's your point? You don't think it's possible that guy was hunting out of season? Did you see what he was coming home with? Is that your proof? If that's your proof, then no deal. That doesn't prove anything at all. It proves that that guy was likely hunting out of season, and that's it. Okay, back to hold on. BJ said autumn is a good season. Spring is better in terms of sunlight, temperature, weather, growth, and getting out and about. You might think my take is bad, but that's your opinion. Well, and that's your opinion, pal. Like you can't go out and about during autumn? Autumn is the best time to go out and about. It's the absolute best. So much of springtime is spent with the rain showers and the storms, which I actually like. I enjoy the background ambiance of a nice storm. I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying, if you're going out and about, at least here, let me tell you, I feel like no time of the year do we get a better string of just beautiful, sunny, crystal clear sky days than when it starts getting a little bit crisp outside. Not super cold, but where you're comfortable in a hoodie. Just a nice regular hoodie. Or a hooded sweatshirt. Because I know someone in the chat doesn't like that terminology, doesn't like that phrasing, doesn't like the word hoodie. If you put on a nice hooded sweatshirt, you'll be taken care of just fine. And you can go out and have a great time, out and about. No problem. Better than spring. All right. Ohio bias showing spring showers aren't everywhere, but even so, buy some rain gear. I love going out in the rain. That's fine. But guess what? Some places close down for the rain. Some places are dangerous when it starts raining. You know, you can't take the kids to the park on the playground equipment when it gets rainy out. It's too slippery. There's a big hazard.
Friendo.
It's the clown on all the babe
Afloat.
Friendo.
It's the clown on
There's this parade where everyone gathers around a friend afloat.
Friendo.
Fungo?
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup.
Hold on. There's some dialogue that's being missed here. It sounded like she said fungo. It's the clown that's on all the Bapin shit.
Parade where everyone gathers around a friend afloat.
Friendo.
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen.
Fungo? Hold on. Can I turn on the captions? It's not just slipperiness. That's not the only horror involved. It's also the fact, okay, all right, here, I'll go back to it then. It's raining. You want to go to the park. Well, not only might you get struck by lightning, but you also, what are you going to do? Even if you put on rain gear, what are you talking about? A pair of rubbers. You put on your rubbers, you put on your raincoat, and what are you going to do? You just go run around at the park in the rain? You know? You can't do the swings because your ass will slip right off of it. It's not even about being super safe. It's about the practicality of it. You can't get a good swing going if you're rocking your ass. You're going to pop right off the seat because it's going to be slippery. You're getting drenched in rain all the while. Even if you're wearing slickers, you're still going to get drenched. The equipment you're on is going to get drenched. Well, okay. What, are you going to go down the slide? Well, you better have like a trench raincoat for you and the whole family. Because if you go down the slide when it's raining out, I mean, your ass is going to get soaked. Your pants are going to get absolutely soaked. So you have to almost treat it like you're going to the water park. And depending on, the temperature that day, if you're talking springtime, it still could be 60 degrees. It might just be 60 degrees. And then that rain's going to make it feel like it's about 30. So just no good. No. And don't you tell me to take it easy. Because guess what? You tell me to take it easy, I'm going to take it harder. If you want me to take it easy, the last thing you ever want to do is tell me to take it easy. Because I will take it hard just to spite you. Now then, I've got to figure out what's being said here. Friendo. Oh, okay. Friendo. It sounded like she said fungo. And it sounded like this guy just said friend. A friendo float. Okay, hold on.
Friendo.
Let's see.
They're really big on tradition around here.
Every year, there's this parade where everyone gathers around a friendo float.
Okay, a friendo float. Around a friendo float. I thought you were saying a friend or float. And then she said like fungo, but it was friendo. Okay. All right. Take it real hard on the late November. It's not late November. Sorry, you're wrong. That's just not right. Sorry. You're going to have to take the L on that one. Big dog. Sorry, I got a big doggy on that one, pal. It's not late November at all. And I think I'll be proven right by the end of this video. Okay, so with that, I'll turn the captions off because that's ugly. It's going to get in the way. Is this the trailer for Clown in the Cornfield? Yes, it is. It is. We're doing a thorough examination because I think Jess and I are going to go and watch it at the cinemas tomorrow evening. So I wanted to dive into it on this chill out zone. Corn in the Clown Field. What could the Grandpa Corn Miser movie be called? Corn in a cornfield. Maybe that'll be the Grandpa Corn Miser film. Corn in a Cornfield. The Grandpa Corn Miser story. All right. Let's continue.
Friendo.
Why does it sound like she says fungo?
Friendo float.
Friendo.
Okay, she's saying friendo, but it still sounds like fungo to me. Anyway, we can't read. They're keeping this hidden from us. There might be secrets on the blackboard, but we've figured out they like to obscure everything except for the very focal point that they would like you to focal on. Corn in the Clown Field is the perfect Grandpa Corn Miser film title. But he's not a clown. Corn in the Clown Field? Maybe if it were him versus the Killer Clowns, who he did have a run-in with in the last Super Duper Divorce video. So maybe that would work. Okay. Let's see. She's got a star choker. She's got this necklace with some sort of pointy object hanging from it. She's wearing some rings. This may be a snake ring. So she's kind of like not quite goth, but I think she's dark whimsy maxing. She is definitely dark whimsy maxing. Why are they in a closed classroom? The chairs are up. Probably just hanging out after shul. Or might be a detention scenario. Maybe in the last class of the day, they're like, all right, everyone put your chairs up to make it easier on the janitors. Or you're not supposed to call them that. They didn't like you to call them janitors. Custodians. That's what they always wanted to have the students call them. They didn't like it when you said the janitors. They said they're actually custodians. Don't call them janitors. And then everyone called them janitors anyway. So she's dark whimsy maxing. She's got some wireless headphones. And that puts us right in the current year. Or close to it. It's not a retro film or anything. We were worried about the tracker. We were thinking about that for a minute. But these wireless headphones, I think, bring us right into 2025. Or close to it. All right. Continuing on.
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup labels.
Friendo is the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup labels. Annual Founders Day celebration. Brought to you by Bay Pen corn syrup. Popcorn, hot dogs, BBQ corn, cotton candy, and corn something. Corny corn. Did we see the monkey? Never did. I didn't see that one.
He's practically a local legend.
A friendo float.
Friendo.
It's the clown on all the Bay Pen corn syrup
Celebration.
labels.
Annual Founders Day. This is the Founders Day celebration. Here's the Friendo float.
He's practically a local legend.
He's a local legend, practically speaking. And we've kind of examined his design already, so par for the course there. You say the monkey is well worth it? Okay. I'll check it out. I'll look into it. In the Super Zine, there's also a monthly movie review. So maybe that could be next month's, or maybe this will be next month's movie review. I don't know. It could be anything. Bapin brand corn syrup. Now, remember when I saw that barn from the road when they were driving by, and I said that might be Bapin, is what I was calling him at that point. That's not his name. The clown is called Friendo. I said that might be, now I can insert, Frendo's like hidden lair out in the cornfields. So maybe this is a close-up shot of where the Bapin Friendo lives. So Bapin brand corn syrup, red barn, out in the secluded cornfield. We've also got some woods nearby. There's a fire, and I can already tell we've got a few people hanging out. So they probably come out here to have a party of some sort. They come out here to do their drinking and partying and carrying on because they think, well, no one's going to get us out here. This is just the abandoned Bapin brand corn syrup barn. No one uses this thing anymore. Let's go have a party. Wow. All right. Well, we can see the jock. I mean, look, that's not even a spoiler. The jock never makes it out. People clown around, so to speak, about the black dude never making it out alive. The jock is in basically the same position. The jock never makes it out alive. When we saw the jock sitting there, back here in the classroom with his Letterman jacket on, you see a dude wearing a Letterman jacket, you know he's getting killed. He's gonna die at some point. So the fact they show him getting slaughtered here in the trailer is, like I said, it's not even spoiler worthy. It's just you knew that was going to happen. We got to show someone getting hacked up. Who's it going to be? Do the jock. Everyone knows. It's no surprise. It's going to be fine. No one's going to be mad about seeing that. They all knew it was going to happen anyway. So looking around this setup, actually these two right here, if I may, and you can look into this if you don't believe me. Look at this. These two characters, I promise, these two look exactly like two kids who were on the original Are You Afraid of the Dark? This looks like they could be sitting around that fire telling stories as part of the Midnight Society. This kid's a dead ringer for the kid who had the same hairstyle, and there was a girl who I think maybe sat next to him who had this exact hairstyle, the blonde, and they look just snapdragon right on schedule. And here's the dark whimsy maxing girl, and here is I can't really pinpoint what her deal is yet. I don't know what she's up to. But they've got maybe a bottle of liquor, or maybe they just brought out some corn syrup. Maybe they came out here to just drink corn syrup. Maybe that's how they party in Kettle Springs. Instead of getting together and doing alcohol and doing marijuana, they get together and they do corn syrup. They do shots of corn syrup. These might be 2 shot glasses next to a bottle of Bapin corn syrup. BJ said that The reason the jock dies is he's always associated with bravery, which means being the first to actively scope out the danger, usually. That's a good point. Yep. And Good Brother says Bapin is an anagram for beanie pea. Possible soybean connection. Corn and soybean fields. That could be. Could be beanie pea. Let's continue diving here. The deep dive continues to depths never before seen in a clown in a cornfield trailer analysis. I'm going to have to clip this section of the video and upload it by itself and just put it up as clown in a cornfield reaction review, in-depth analysis, such and such. And as Good Brother said, I'll have to have the arrows pointing to nothing in particular, you know, to get the clicks. But people are going to be like, how could he talk about this trailer for... it's been well over an hour, at least. Always the punishment for revelry. Get a new trope horror films. I don't mind the tropes in horror films, really. People like to bitch about tropes. I don't care. It's part of what makes me like horror movies. I like the tropes to play out the way that the tropes do. You get used to them. It's like, it's kind of cozy. It's almost like just knowing a traditional pop song is going to have a verse, a chorus, another verse, a chorus, a bridge, you know. You just get used to these things. I don't need every film to be a virtuoso masterpiece that blows my mind and makes me rethink what cinema's all about. Sometimes I want to have my suspicions confirmed, my presuppositions, my assumptions. I just want them to be right on schedule, right on target. I want to hit all the stops just when I think we're going to, and I'm fine with it. I don't need a big crazy twist in every film. Just make it enjoyable to watch. That's all I ask. So far what I'm seeing here actually makes me excited to watch Clown in a Cornfield. Does every film need to be a reimagining? No, it does not. Absolutely not. But he says, but have a little ingenuity, please. Well, I mean, that's in the eye of the beholder, really. Did you take the time to craft your own slasher? If we're talking about a slasher, it's like, does he have a somewhat, because you can only do so many. It's like, okay, well, is every clown movie a ripoff because there's other clown movies out there? I mean, like, no, not really. Because then you could have just made one clown film and that would have been it. That's not fair. Because I like more clown films than just it. I like Terrifier. I think this movie looks good. But it looks like a different type of clown than Art the Clown. He doesn't look exactly the same. If you copied one for one the killer and put him in the same costume at the same setting, well, yeah, you know, that's a bit much. But for instance, because there's Friday the 13th, can no one else make a horror movie at a campgrounds? That wouldn't be fair. And by fair, I mean fair to the viewers. Because there are other good campground horror movies. The Belning, which me and Bender reviewed on this channel many moons ago. And Sleepaway Camp, that series. Even the new Fear Street film did a good campground slasher spin. So some people could say, oh, it's too derivative. But I think you can kind of claim that about just about everything. Everything derives from something else. So as long as you're not doing a kind of one-to-one knockoff, whatever. Let's continue. Okay, there's the jock getting killed. Did we see what he's struggling with, where he was, so he didn't get his throat slashed or anything like that. He maybe like a stomach issue. Might have gotten stabbed in the tummy, something like that. Good Brother said everything is just a Halloween ripoff. Halloween is the real MVP. Yeah, I'd say that the original Halloween is probably my favorite horror film. Endlessly rewatchable. Just pretty much perfect. There's like nothing I would change about it. But is everything else a ripoff? I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know about that. Okay, so here's our first look at the live action Friendo, not Fungo, and not Bapin the Clown. This is Friendo the Clown. He's a little tubbier than I thought he was going to be. He's pretty thick. He looked pretty wiry and thin in the float representation. But the real one appears to be a bit of a thick boy clown. And they're out here. There's some just bullshit strewn about. Boards, old tire, broken down box. This is like a box you would break in Resident Evil 4 and find some ammo in there. What else? Hefty clown. Mm-hmm. Oh, and does he not have clown shoes? He's... Oh, now he's coming at them. So sometimes they do this in movie trailers. It's not necessarily the case that this happened right after this. Some time could have passed. They like to cut things up in deceptive ways at times in movie trailers. So don't think just because this guy got slashed and he falls down that the very next scene, if you go to the cinemas and watch this, you're going to see this happen. It could be in a different order. This could be at a completely different time. So he comes now. He's walking towards us, towards the viewer. Good Brother says, I'm thinking Jock got a thrown weapon to the back. Let's see that again. See, look how spindly and tall and lanky this friendo is compared to that we're going to see in a minute. Here we go. Could have been to the back. I see where you're coming from. I think I'm gonna still say that it was his tummy. I think he's holding his tummy. He's kind of hunching over just a little bit. I think he was gotten in the stomach with something. Maybe this hook that we see. Okay, so he's coming after them now. Is that the Jock over here in the corner? That could be. Everyone's getting up to run. Oh, he doesn't mind dashing or lunging. He's not going to be a slow walking killer. We see that right away. He's coming after him. So they're trying to get up and go. This girl's still sitting down. She's a little slow on the ball. Just get with it if she doesn't want to die. Her boyfriend, the OG, he's following along. What? Oh, was it all a trick? Oh, look. So here they are. I mean, these are the pranks that you pull on people when you're high on corn syrup. They're out here, and here there's the Jock right there. He's got a bundle of guts, and now he's laughing. That's why she didn't bother getting up. She knew it was all a ruse. And this was, okay, the clown was being played by the black man, and the blonde here, she's taking video on her iPhone or Android, something. Jess said, this is quite a long review of such a short video. How do you do it? Magic indeed. Magic. Tuber magic. The gift of gab. The gift to not shut the fuck up and just keep talking. It's kind of like freestyle a little bit, but I don't have to rhyme anything. I remember I worked with a guy once and he was really good at freestyle rapping. I was like, what's a secret? How do you do it? And he's like, I'm constantly looking around at different items and things that will trigger words, you know, and give me like what I'm going to say several steps ahead, you know. So he would use his whereabouts to kind of trigger different memories or ideas, you know, and he would use everything at his disposal. So that's what I do here when I'm breaking it down. I'm like, what else haven't I talked about on the screen? I didn't mention this can over here. What could this be? What is that? A Diet Mountain Dew? It's got a little bit of a greenish hue to it. And I don't think they're drinking alcohol because they brought out corn syrup to drink. That's what I was going with. So everyone's laughing. This was a big setup. It was all a ruse. They got the fire going and they pulled a prank. Now, did they prank just her or did they prank her and the OG? That's going to be something to find out. Yes, in other words, you bullshit. You bullshit your way through it.
Smile, Philly girl. You're about to become...
Okay, he's smiling too. Yep. They were taking video. They've been filming for 14 seconds. And they're going to upload it and make her internet famous. They're going to meme her.
Become a sensation. You're about to become a sensation. Philly girl, you're about to become a sensation.
Everybody's saying it.
Smile, Philly girl, you're about to become a sensation.
I sensation. You're about to become I sensation. Smile, girl, you're about to become I sensation. Is that what she actually said? I sensation? Let's check. Legend. Oh, maybe that was just the legend.
Smile, Philly girl, you're...
Smile, Philly girl? Oh, she moved from Philly. There's some more lore. We can talk about the weak-ass campfire, too. It's pretty weak. For where they're at, yeah, they could have done a big bonfire. But who knows? Maybe they had other plans after this. They were going to prank her quickly and then go somewhere else for the rest of the evening. But Smile Philly girl, you're about to become...
About to become a sensation.
A sensation. Philly girl. She moved from Philly. All right. From the director of Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I like that movie. That was a great film. You guys like Tucker and Dale? That was a good one. I haven't watched it in ages. But that was a fun horror film. I like that. Let's examine the bedroom. A nice bed set up. Nice Afghan that's been given to her probably by her grandma. You can't just go to the store typically and buy an Afghan like this. This is an heirloom piece that an elder statesman of the family passes down to you. You thought I hated it? No, I ended up watching it later. I watched it again. Without you, I guess. No, I like that movie. It has Alan Tudyk and the guy from that one show that we enjoyed for a bit, and then we never finished it. Who was also in Zack and Miri. He plays the drunk guy who stumbles in when they're making the porn. I can't remember his name. Or the show that he was on. That was like his show. What was that called? What was that? Where he's trying to help people pass on when they're ghosts. He's trying to help them with their unfinished business to help them pass over to the next world. What was that show called? It was pretty funny. I like his presence. Reaper? No, the show's Deadbeat. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah. No, Jess, I don't. Tyler Labine. Yes. He's a funny man. I like that guy. But yeah, it was Tyler Labine and Alan Tudyk, I believe, were the stars of Tucker and Dale. Or Dale and Tucker and Dale. Yeah. No, I like that. Just because I fell asleep the first time doesn't mean I hated the movie. I was probably just sleepy. Anyway, what's going on here? Good Brother said the lights are a fire hazard. Which ones? In her bedroom? These right here? These are just pleasant. I've got lights like this in my bedroom. I've got lights like this in my office all the time. We had them strung up all through the house. We need to replace the ones that we had on the stairs, like on the banisters and shit. But I always like keeping these kinds of festive lights on. Not a fire hazard at all. That doesn't happen. They make them safe now. You know, they're not like the old-fashioned ones. They're not just gonna spontaneously combust. It's okay if you want to decorate your house with these kinds of lights. That's what they're made for. They're made for decoration. They're not fire hazards. They're not fire hazards. Don't pay attention, Jess. It's fine. Okay, this is an old-timey lamp. Now, this is an antique lamp. And this is more confirmation that what the Kettle Springs OG said was true. That they've got lots of knickknacks like this around Kettle Springs. It's probably just like Lebanon. They have antique shops everywhere. You can get a nice lamp like this. This one you could probably find at Target or IKEA. Nothing too impressive there. But what kinds of posters do we have on the wall? Seattle, 1990 something. With a photograph, we've got a mouth kind of doing this. Kind of like doing a mouth that's like that mouth girls on MySpace used to do all the time. Kind of snarling mouth you don't see anymore. Tell that to all the burnt down Christmas trees. I've never heard of a burnt down Christmas tree. You're watching too much National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And you know what the problem is with those? Those are real trees that are dehydrated. And they get too dried out. And they'll go up, they'll go up like that. They'll go up if you're smoking a cigarette and you get 10 feet away from them. The smoke will set those things on fire. You know? If you're 10 feet away and you try to rub your hands like this to get some friction going, sometimes that friction will cause one of those dehydrated Christmas trees to just go up in flames. That's the problem. Not these newfangled Christmas lights that are not a fire hazard. Coming in here with that misinformation. What else? Book, a drawing here of maybe a skeleton. Something here. I don't know what that is. It says coming, probably coming soon. Maybe a movie poster. Maybe this is a dream catcher. She's got skulls on the pillows. And she's got a magical mushroom, a mushroom. See, I told you this chick was dark whimsy maxing. She for sure is. With the old-fashioned antique lamp, the kind of magical, what would you call that? The magical ambiance with the lighting and the mushrooms, but then the skulls. That's it. It's dark whimsy. That's what she's up to in here. And she's typing away on her phone. This might be after she's been pranked. Let's see. Ah, yeah, she's watching the video back.
Be careful who you hang out with.
Oh, but look. In the background, she notices
There's some real
the real friendo. Aha! See? Now, okay. See, I thought if you would have asked me how the movie is going to go, I would have figured that after that little recording, the real friendo would show up like that night. But I guess they leave safely. The video gets posted online, and then at home, when she's hanging out in a room, she happens to zoom in because she sees this guy hanging out back there, which no one saw that night. Now, could this be another part of the trick? A multi-tiered, multi-layered prank? Quite possible. It could be. But I don't know. So let's continue to find out. How is dark whimsy maxing related to being a manic pixie dream girl? Well, they're very similar. Manic pixie dream girls are perfect candidates for dark whimsy maxing. They're going to be into that. That's going to be their entire vibe that they're putting out. Dark, whimsical vibes for a manic pixie dream girl. If you're a manic pixie dream girl and you're also into kind of like ghoulish skeleton regalia and things like that, and antiques and just kind of like odds and ends, that's totally dark whimsy maxing. No questions asked. So let's continue.
real weirdos at this town.
Weirdos in this town. Hold on.
Be careful who you hang out with. There's some real weirdos at this town.
Careful who you hang out with. There are some real weirdos at this town. That's different phrasing. I would have said in this town. Usually people say in this town. You're in the town. You're not at it. So that's, I wonder if that's like, is there something to that? Or is that just odd phrasing? Be careful who you hang out with. What do you say? There are a lot of weirdos at this town. I think that goths would also be into dark whimsy maxing for sure. But, you know, I feel like also manic pixie dream girls they're just right there with goth chicks. You could be a manic pixie dream girl or a goth girl, and you're just as likely to be into dark whimsy maxing as each other. I think it's neck and neck. That's my suspicion. Now, I haven't studied that, but if I had to guess, that's what I would put money on.
Real weirdos at this town.
There's some real weirdos at this town. Now, we haven't seen this guy before. This isn't the OG. And she's a lot shorter than I thought she was, or this guy is very tall. I don't know if that comes into things at all. Is Harley Quinn dark whimsy maxing? No, I don't think she is. She's got a different thing happening. She's more like chaotic. No. Because she's definitely got a little whimsy to her. But I think she's too chaotic. Her whimsiness, it bleeds over into chaos too often. To the point where she's almost not whimsical anymore. She's just straight up chaotic. Cutesy psycho maxing. That would be more like it. I have trouble saying that she's whimsy maxing. of any kind. Because it's too serious. The shit she gets up to with the Joker, some of the crimes that she commits. I mean, in the Fartacular that I reviewed, she stabbed a guy in the neck with an ice cream cone because he littered, and killed him and dragged him and threw him into a dumpster or a trash can. That's not whimsy. That's chaos and psychopathy. So I have a problem with classifying her in that way. You need me to define whimsy maxing? Just whimsical. It's got to have a certain airiness to it. There's got to be a little lighthearted fun involved. It can't bleed over into chaos. It can't bleed over into just like wanton destruction. It can't be psychopathy. It can't be murderous rage. You can't be in that realm and then also consider yourself whimsical. I don't think. I have problems with that. His hair's a little messy. He's wearing a camo backpack. I wonder if this could be the hunter, because he's got the camo backpack. That might be the hunter from the very beginning. The guy who was inspirited by the deer that he had just shot. So she sees him here. She's out walking with him maybe. And then she's going to see him again when she's out on her date with the OG of Kettle Springs. So there might be a love triangle that we're going to see unfold in this film. No, I don't think dark whimsy maxing includes harm or serious destruction. For instance, the video that I saw that introduced me to the whole concept of dark whimsy maxing was where a guy said, you've got to be dark whimsy maxing. He's basically saying you've got to look behind the facade of the normal into the secrets. And what are the secrets? What do you expect to find when you're out dark whimsy maxing? You might be, in this case, in this video, behind the local plaza. Behind a plaza. You know what that looks like. You can imagine that. Behind a plaza at night. A strip mall plaza. You go behind the plaza at night, and this is where you can find some of the secrets. Like, as he does, geometrically arranged Capri Suns just on the ground. Geometrically arranged Capri Suns. You wouldn't think you'd ever find that anywhere. You go behind the plaza at night, you're breaking through the facade of the normal into the secrets. He also says, where else will you find skeleton on a rack? And there's just a skeleton hanging on a wire rack behind this plaza. I have become quite obsessed with dark whimsy maxing. As a concept, it's very intriguing. But that's what I'm talking about. See, it's not chaos. It's not causing destruction like Harley Quinn. That's not it at all. BJ said that geometrically arranged Capri Suns is not a phrase that he ever imagined would come out of my mouth. Well, it just did. But don't take my word for it. It's up to you to break into the secrets on your own. That's just one example. Who knows what you can find when you go out there? When you go dark whimsy maxing and just beyond, just where's an odd place? Not a dangerous place. You don't want to go and get yourself in trouble. But just think, imagine it like real life hidden areas in a video game and what you're going to find in there. Who would think to go behind the local plaza at night and just have a gander and just see? What have people done back here that I'm going to stumble upon that the overwhelming majority, you want to talk about 99.999999999 repeating percent of people are never going to see. That's that shit. That's the stuff. So let's continue breaking down this trailer here. Not even halfway through. Yeah. So they're having a moment here. This doesn't look like romance to me. This looks like concern. These are looks of concern they're sharing with each other, but it could turn into more. You never know. And she's wearing the same costume from when she was in the classroom right here, when they were telling her about Friendo. So it's probably the same day, maybe when she's walking home from school. He's trying to caution her maybe about hanging out with this group that we saw in the classroom. It's like, there's some weirdos around here in Kettle Springs. Let's continue. Okay, so here it is. All right. We knew this was going to happen. We knew it. BJ says, it sounds like to him that dark whimsy maxing is akin to getting that prized yet rarely gotten video game achievement, but in real life by doing things few to no others are doing. Yes. And it also has a certain, there's like a certain flavor to it. Like I said, I don't think that you can probably, well, it could be a daytime activity. I feel like it'd be easier to go dark whimsy maxing at night. But if you, let's say, went into, if you hop the fence and you went into like an old abandoned amusement park, you could do some dark whimsy maxing any time of day. Especially if you went into like a building inside the broken down amusement park, the abandoned amusement park. I think that's a great dark whimsy maxing opportunity right there. So the black guy is being confronted by Friendo in his home, I suppose, which is not good for him. Usually when that happens, that's going to be just about it. But okay. And the producers of Smile. That was scary. That's a creepy film. I haven't seen the second one yet. I'd like to. Jess liked that. She likes Smile. That was pretty creepy, right, Jess, if you're still watching? Yeah. Okay. The jock doing his reps here. He's got his little hit guy. I don't remember what this guy was called. It's got a name. This particular style of punching bag that's like shaped like the dude. Okay. The movie tomorrow will likely be shorter than the trailer breakdown, Jess says. Yeah, absolutely. Well, good night. Thanks for hanging around for a bit. We're going to continue. I'm going to break this thing down. We're going to really deep dive. This is the deepest dive. A super dive. A new style of video. The Super Divorce Super Dive. Going deeper into your favorite movie trailers than any other tuber is going to go. Than any other tuber dares to go. I'm doing the work that no one else wants to do, will do, can do. That's why I am super divorced. That's why I'm super. Now, it looks like he's got a decent amount of weight on here. He's got the arch. This is controversial. Some people really love the arch. Others hate it. I think you can get more up if you do the arch method. But I also question whether or not you're actually, I would say, exercising properly when you do that. If you're just wanting to use your chest muscles, it seems to me like keeping your back flat is going to give you a better idea of what your strength is when you're only using your chest. If you do the arch and you really dig into the floor, it's almost like you're getting a different type of pump. No, I'm not ruining this movie for myself at all. Doing this makes me want to watch it even more, actually. So he's working out questionable form. Some people love it, others hate it. I'm kind of jury's still out. That's where my territory is on it.
6.
Okay, he's got it all the way up. And out in the garage, the fluorescent lights, some tools, some shelving units. Oh! The clown comes in. It's classic. You see someone bench pressing in a horror movie, not good for the person doing the exercise. Actually, people exercising in horror movies almost always ends in disaster, because heavy weights, just a slight miscalculation, can be really bad. If you bring someone in with murderous intent, then you're in trouble. So that's what's happened here. Friendo reaches out, grabs the barbell, and then he's got, what is that? Oh, no. Okay, here's a good look at the actual Friendo. It looks like a mask instead of face paint. Seems to me he's wearing an actual mask. So this could be someone from town. As I pointed out, really close to the beginning here, when they first showed the parade, there was that guy on the tractor, and he had the little clown nose, and I was like, that could be the killer. That could be Friendo. It could be anyone from town, because this looks like just a classic Halloween mask you would put on over your face, over your whole head, actually. It's not face paint. It's not someone wearing a skull cap with fake hair, I don't think. I think this is just like a full head mask that they're wearing. You can see how deep the eyes are in there, so probably safe to say that. And then he's bringing a saw up.
Very funny.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for you, guy. Oh, okay. He's going to try. Now, this is an inventive situation they got going on here. He didn't just take the opportunity to saw his neck. He's playing a game with him, very clown-like. Very clown-like. He has decided to hold the saw by the handle up here flush with the barbell, and he knows this guy's pretty strong. So he's going to push down on the bar to increase the weight and see if the jock laying down on the bench can actually hold the weight up. If he doesn't do that, he's going to get this saw right down on his throat. And it looks like he was successful in pushing the barbell down. And then we see this same Jack in the Box from the beginning segment where OG was flirting with the Philly girl. We know she's from Philadelphia now.
Hey, Ginger! You okay?
Hey, Ginger, you okay? Now, here's Ginger walking out of the clown field. Ginger. Who's Ginger? Have we seen Ginger yet?
You okay?
We've seen her. We've seen her. We've seen her. This is Philly. Did we ever see Ginger? Ginger might be a new character we haven't seen yet. This might be another party. Now, I've got to look here. Let me remember. 121. We're going to come back to 121. But I need to look. Let me see what kind of outfits they have on here. At this part. She's got 121. Yes, confirmed. I can confirm now. This night right here, the night of the prank, is different from what we were just seeing at 121, which also appears to be taking place back out at the Bapin Barn, because the characters are wearing different costumes. They're dressed up differently, and this girl over on the left, she's got her hair done up differently. The blonde girl is wearing a different outfit, confirmed. Totally different. It's not like she just took her jacket off. She's got a different jacket on at 121. So this is a different night. It seems like they come back out here perhaps after the joke night. I think that's what's going to happen. Good Brother's got his theory locked in already. Wow. Before we finish. All right. That's what I like to hear. Now, Ginger collapsed because she had been stabbed in the back with something. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's an arrow. Could be a javelin. Maybe a fire poker with an orange grip on the end. Good Brother said, weird people at this town. Full mask, multi-killer. Many persons are the killer. That's what Good Brother says. That's a good theory. That's a good theory. But it's just a theory. And we don't know yet. We might see something that makes you change your mind by the end of the trailer. So let's continue. But it's a good theory up to this point. I will give you that. Okay. I can also tell you that the killer appears to be a white, probably a white man, because I don't see any tits. And it looks to be the thickness of the neck. This looks like a man's neck. I can't tell you for certain, but now what is this? Is this an arrow gun? Is that what I'm seeing? Am I seeing correctly here? Or is it looks like a gun. Maybe is that a bow gun? Is that an automatic bow? Just, I kind of see maybe how it might be jutting out here. At first, it just looked like this was like a rifle. But now I'm seeing maybe we've got some action happen here on the sides. Or maybe he's got a custom dart arrow rifle that he's had commissioned for himself. Friendo has. A crossbow? Hard. That's what I'm saying. It's tough. It's tough to see. It could be. But he might have his very own special Friendo the Clown arrow rifle. I wouldn't rule it out. But I think right here we can. I think it's a crossbow confirmed. Okay. So he killed her with a crossbow. That's interesting. You've got two very different styles of kills. You had very classic slasher use of the saw in a very gruesome way. And then he was just fine to kind of take the shot with a crossbow. Let me see something else here. Is that the same mask? It looks a little different, but it could just be the lighting. Well, all right. And does she have blood on her face right here? She wasn't just covered in blood a second ago, was she? No, they've put different scenes together, I believe. Yeah, here she is. So she's like, "Oh, Ginger?" And she walks out and collapses, and then the clown walks out from the corn right behind her, and then they cut in a reaction that's supposed to be them reacting to this. But remember, in the previous scene there, she was over here on the right, and she also was not covered in blood. It's corn syrup, says BJ. That could be. That could be. Setting up. He's got his crossbow. The main girl, Philly girl, picks up the old Captain America can. She's kind of protector. Okay, main 9.
There's a psych.
Now he's got his damn chainsaw. That, I think, is the girl that we already saw walk out from the cornfield and die. That was Ginger. So as soon as I see Ginger in the film, I know she's the one who gets killed out in the cornfield. She's going to get shot right through with that crossbow. But they've got nice lighting up here. It looks like a nice party. They were having a nice time.
Go.
This is something, though. Let me see.
There's a psycho. Dress.
It's tough to tell if they actually have the chain on the chainsaw. Go back. Are they wearing the same hat/wig? These clowns. Let me see. The hat, I think, looked the same to me. Kind of that little black hat. Yeah, it's like a flattish, smashed, tiny top hat right there. And then the hair. Do you think the hair is the same, or is there something different about it? Good Brother says the Weight Clown and Expo Clown look like different physical builds. Double down on the multi-killer. Okay. But definitely the final girl, Philly.
There's a psycho dressed up like Friendo.
There's a psycho dressed up like Friendo. Okay, here's the jock. Is that the jock? Or is that a different one? Maybe he gets away in this scene, and then he gets killed when he's pumping iron in his garage. Or maybe this is part of the trick. This is probably part of the trick. This looks more like the trick night, because I don't think they had the nice lighting up on the trick night for the viral video. And this is the later party night. This is the night with the real friendo. They're all running away.
Kill us! Trying to kill us! Dressed up like Friendo! Trying to kill us!
Trying to kill us. Oh, you see some eyes right here for once. You can actually see some eyes in that. Now, what have they stumbled upon here? A tunnel system? A chamber where people were being kept? Whatever they see, I think they're going to have to go down in there to explore further. Maybe they're locked in a room and this is their only way out. Could be something like that. And how many of them were here? Is this... So this is... That's OG. There's the blonde chick, black chick. Philly. Is that the hunter guy who we saw walking home with Philly? That's going to be my guess. His hair looks a little darker here, but it is nighttime, you know, so that's to be expected. Now, all right. We don't know who this is. Maybe someone's dad, a teacher. Oh, BJ said they could have been staring down into Frendo's sex dungeon. That's possible. He could be a sex guy. He could be into like sexual torture or things of that nature. Getting a look at him here. Okay. Covered in blood. Someone else has died from the group by that point when they've been chased out into the corn, which is never good. You know, if you get chased into the corn in a horror film, your chances of survival go drastic down. Drastic go down, to quote Scott Steiner. Someone was just given a very bad evening. She's been splashed with a lot of blood spray. And so has she. Is that the same girl? Yeah. This is probably later. So they escape. We can assume then. Whoops. Hold on. Let's get to it. So they get out of this situation. We know that. Because here they are later. She's still wearing this bloody white coat. She's all covered in blood, but they've made it back to a house. So they get away from the cornfield. They're going to call 911.
Where's the button, Jen? What is it?
They don't know how to use a rotary phone. Even I could do that. But I guess that just proves that I'm a boomer. But my grandma had one of these for the longest time. I remember I would often go over to her house to visit with my father on Sundays, my dad's mom. And we'd be hanging out. A lot of times after we left my grandma's house, my dad and I would go to the local cinemas. We would often go and see a movie on Sundays. And what'd you have to do in the olden days? You had to call and check movie times. So that was my job, though. I would go and get the yellow pages, and I'd flip open to Showcase Cinemas Cross Point. That's the one we would go to most often. And I had to call and check movie times using a rotary phone just like that. Did that many, many times. So I would be perfectly comfortable stepping in and helping out and dialing 911 for these young ladies here in this situation. I know exactly how to do that. Good Brother said you only got a 33 1/3% chance of defeating Friendo. That's right. Holler!
What kind of phone is it?
Okay. A new weapon. So we've seen him with what? A saw. We've seen him with a crossbow, a chainsaw. Now he's got fucking, what do you call this thing? It's not a rake. It's a pitchfork. That's a kind of pitchfork, eh? You pitch all the hay with it. You make hay stacks and shit. Saw, crossbow, chainsaw, pitchfork. Could be other accoutrements. Is his hat still on this one? Has his hat fallen off right here? Or is it just in the dark? This looks like it's probably the final showdown. If I had to guess, this is probably near the end of the film. Okay, he's rearing back. They're in the house. Anything from this shot? It looks like his face might have been beaten up a little bit. He might have taken... He's definitely battle damaged. They've gotten some good licks in on him at this juncture. Looks like this might be a tear right here. Some dirt. Some grime. And maybe that's... I mean, that could be his blood. Could be someone else's. Let me go back just a second. Because when he comes through the door, can you see anything like that? We don't really see this side of his face. If he's taken damage on that side, it's tough to tell. But it looks right here like it's wet. So maybe so. It's got a wet shine to it. Good Brother said lighting is fucking with me, or there's different masks. I mean, maybe. But again, it could be that his mask has taken some damage. Maybe it's been beaten up a little bit by this point. Because I think this is the final act. And that blood spray, is that actually from that scene? This looks like the top hat is definitely gone. It might have been ripped off at some point during a scuffle. Are you... What was that? An axe? Hatchet? Yeah, it's like a fire axe. So if that's him, you can add fire axe to the list of weapons he uses. He does not seem to have a preference. He'll use anything. Which, that would be a little point in the favor of the multi-killer theory. The fact that there's so many weapons being used. Okay, this is the farm night, the party, before she's splattered in blood, before they get back to the house. If I had to guess, she's not going to make it back to the house. We haven't seen her at the house at all. So, the blood she's covered with is probably hers. That's going to be my theory. That's my guess. OG. Now, what did he have right there? What is that? That looks like the fire axe again. Just making sure it wasn't something new. Had the blue light shining off it, dancing off it just nice. A friend. Okay, look at him here. His mask looks all shitted up. And he's got his... Oh, okay. There it is. There's another weapon. Well, hold on. This is what he had when they were playing the prank. Maybe he really uses this at some point. The small sickle. That looked like he really got someone. Unless that was a shot of him killing the jock, who he supposedly, ripped his intestines out. Scythe, sickle. That's what I said, right? Sickle. The scythe is the bigger one, isn't it? The scythe is like what the Grim Reaper has. Isn't that the difference? All right, here he's holding up a bottle of Bapin corn syrup. Or Friendo. Chasing people through... oh, yeah, that's what he uses. That's where all that blood splatter comes from that the blonde chick has all over her. He kills someone with the chainsaw out in the cornfield. Probably the black girl. They were all in a group together. All right, here is Philly escaping from the farm. Don't worry, she gets out of there. We know that. We know. Somehow she gets out of that scenario. And then he pulls her out. Okay. How does she get out of that? Unless that doesn't happen out at the farm. But it looks like it does. So how she escapes that, I don't know. Maybe she gets help from a friend. Gotta be something. Clown in a cornfield. What's he got there? What was that? What do you think this is? Do you think that's like a... Could there be like in the dark? Could this be a big like clown mallet? Something like that. Could just be a pipe. I don't know. See if we find any names we know. Shudder Hercules Film Fund present in associated with Protagonist Pictures, a Temple Hill production, a Rhea Films production, and associated with Thunder Snow Pictures and 1821 Studios, Clown in a Cornfield. Katie Douglas, Aaron Abrams, Carson McCormick, Kevin Durand, not Kevin Durant, Will Sasso. Well, I didn't see him. What if Will Sasso is the killer? That'd be wild. What if that gave it away? What if Will Sasso plays Friendo the Clown? That'd be wild. Because we didn't see him in the trailer at all. We saw plenty of Friendo. Music by Brandon Roberts and Marcus Trump with 2 P's. Costume designer Laura DeLuca, edited by Sabrina Peter, CCE director of photography Brian Pearson, Ask executive producers Jean-Luc Defanti, not Jean-Luc Ponty, Max Work, Kostas Soukalis, Peterson Harris, George Berman, Daniel Beakerman, Myron John Tatarin, Carter Blanchard, Dave Bishop, George Hamilton, produced by Marty Bowen, Wick Godfrey, Isaac Klausner, John Fisher, Paris Cazito Costas. I've never seen that name before. That's definitely a Greek name. Cazito Costas. Casido Costas. Sasso plays the sheriff. Okay. Paris Casido Costas Latsis. Terry Dugas, based upon the novel. Oh, it is based on the novel. By Adam Cesar. Screenplay by Carter Blanchard and Eli Craig. Directed by Eli Craig. There you go. It is based on the novel. Look, we find out all sorts of stuff by going through this the way we did. 2024 Temple Hill Films, LLC, all rights reserved. And there we go. And that's going to do it. That was almost 3 hours. I was going to say when I started, you know, maybe I'll try to
This is what I wanted.
Here, where are we? There we go. Clown in a cornfield. There we are. When I initially began, I was like, what if I say I'm going to go through this and try to make it take an hour? And that seemed silly to me in my mind. I was like, I'm not going to say that out loud. Because I'm going to start and then I'm going to be almost done with it after like 30 minutes and I'll have to like stall and bullshit to make it the rest of the way. 3 hours later, Good Brother says, I don't even have to see the movie. We have it solved. So you really think it's the multi-killer theory? You think that's going to be the way it shakes out? Well, yeah. 2 minutes and 34 seconds dragged out to 3 hours with titillating, top-notch, mind-bending, earth-shattering, I need more ways to describe it and hype it. Soul-shaking, brilliant, observational analysis. That's what we did here. Dark whimsy maxing. This could be a form of dark whimsy maxing because you're not going to find this in most places, really. So maybe it would classify. Maybe it'd pass. I don't know. But I think what we're going to do is go and watch this tomorrow night. So we probably won't be doing the traditional Lego stream because we're going to have to go to a later showing. So come on by and, when we get out of the cinemas and back home, Jess and I will hop on here and do a Clown in a Cornfield retrospective. We'll do, an after the viewing review. Fresh out of the cinemas. We'll get on here and talk about it and see who had it right. I'll be able to confirm for you whether or not the multi-killer theory is true, or if there was some other twist or turn that we didn't see coming. Maybe they didn't throw it all out to us here. We'll find out. But after that, I think I've maxed out my chilling in the chill out zone for the evening. Fresh retrospective, full spoilers. Be warned. If you come by tomorrow night for the Clown in a Cornfield review, there will be full spoilers being tossed around. So prepare. And I hope to see you guys then. As for me, I'm going to skedaddle and get some rest. You guys do the same. Okay? And again, come back tomorrow night. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be. Here's what I'll do. When I figure out what showing we're going to, I'll make a post. So check the posts, the community tab, and let you know what time the movie's playing and about what time we'll probably be hopping on here afterwards. Okay? So that's how we can stay in touch. So you don't have to rely on the damn notifications. Because if that's what you rely on, you probably will never get one. And then you'll miss the fun of the Clown in the Cornfield review live tomorrow night. Fresh out the theater. Fresh out the cinemas. And until then, everyone, take real good care. Keep kicking ass. Love you lots. Lord willing, I'll be back very soon with another video for you to watch. Bye-bye.